Welcome back to my channel Criminology and Forensic Science, where science meets crime. Every solved crime, every criminal caught, every innocent life saved owes a silent tribute to the pioneers of forensic science. In today's episode, we shine a light on the legendary figures who laid the foundation of this incredible field, from poison detection to DNA discovery. We begin with Mathieu Orfila, a Spanish-born chemist who worked in France during the 19th century. Often called the father of forensic toxicology, Orfila transformed the way poison cases were handled in court. In an era when poisoning was a common but undetectable crime, Orfila introduced chemical tests to detect toxic substances in a victim's body. His famous work Treatise Poisons was published in 1814 and became the cornerstone of toxicological studies. But he didn't stop at theory. He actively testified in trials, showing judges and juries how science could reveal a hidden truth. Orfila proved that scientific evidence could speak louder than human witnesses. Next up, we meet Alphonse Bertillon, a French police officer who believed every human had measurable traits that could help identify them. In 1879, he developed anthropometry, a method to catalog criminals based on body measurements like the length of an arm or the width of the head. His system was widely adopted across Europe and America before fingerprint became dominant. But perhaps his most lasting legacy was creating the first modern crime scene investigation kit, which included measuring tools, evidence collection materials, and even a camera. Bertillon brought order and consistency to investigations, and his work laid the groundwork for modern forensic documentation. While fingerprints had been used in ancient China, it was Francis Galton, a British polymath and a cousin of Charles Darwin, who made them scientifically credible. In his 1892 book, Fingerprints, Galton provided the first statistical proof that no two fingerprints are alike and that they don't change over a person's lifetime. He classified prints into loops, whorls, and arches, a system still used today. His work laid the foundation for one of the most powerful tools in forensic science and helped usher in an era where identity could be proven with absolute certainty, regardless of disguise or denial. Imagine trying to solve a crime using blood but not knowing whose it was. That changed in 1901 when Karl Landsteiner, an Austrian immunologist, discovered the ABO blood group system. This revelation didn't just revolutionize medical transfusions, it gave forensic scientists a new tool to compare suspects' blood types with that found at a crime scene. Later, Landsteiner also contributed to discovering the Rh factor, which made blood analysis even more precise. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1930 for his work. Before DNA, blood typing was one of the most powerful methods for narrowing down a suspect pool, and it all began with Landsteiner's microscopic curiosity. What if a blood stain is old and dry? Can it still tell us something? Leon Latz, an Italian professor, answered with a resounding yes. In 1915, Latz developed a method to determine blood groups from dried blood stains, making it possible to analyze evidence long after a crime had occurred. His technique became a standard in police laboratories, and his textbook, La Individualita del Sangue educated a generation of forensic professionals. Lads showed that blood never stopped speaking, even when it's silent to the naked eye. Every bullet fired tells a story. Calvin Goddard, a US Army colonel and forensic scientist, refined the science of firearms identification. He introduced the comparison microscope, which allowed him to match bullet markings to a specific gun barrel. This proved revolutionary in ballistics, most famously helping to solve the St. Valentine's Day massacre in 1929 by identifying the firearms used. Thanks to Goddard, bullets are no longer just projectiles, they are silent witnesses that link a suspect to the scene. Forgeries, ransom notes, and anonymous letters all are playgrounds for Albert S. Osborne, the pioneer of forensic document examination. In 1910, he published Question Documents, a seminal work that taught investigators how to analyze handwriting, ink, paper, and typewriter impressions. His methods became the standard for document examiners across the world. Osborne helped courts realize that even writing could be forensically dissected, revealing deception in the strokes of a pen. In Austria, a legal mind named Hans Gross merged science and law to form what we now call criminalistics, the study of physical evidence in criminal cases. In 1893, he wrote Handbook for Examining Magistrates, which became one of the first texts to guide judges and police in using science during investigations. He also founded the forensic journal Criminology and believed deeply that every piece of evidence, no matter how small, must be examined methodically. He was one of the first to treat forensic science as a legitimate profession. No list is complete without Edmond Locard, the French criminologist often dubbed the Sherlock Holmes of Lyon. In 1910, he established the first forensic science laboratory inside a police department, but his most lasting contribution is Locard's exchange principle. Every contact leaves a trace. This idea is the golden rule of forensic science. If two objects come into contact, a person and a weapon, a thief and a window, they both leave traces behind. It's a principle that continues to guide every forensic investigation today. These pioneers didn't just solve crimes, they transformed justice. From poison to handwriting, from blood to bullets, their discoveries turned mysteries into measurable truth. Today's forensic scientists stand on the shoulders of these legends, using their tools, principles, and passion to seek the truth. If you enjoyed learning about the brilliant minds behind forensic science, like and subscribe and let us know in the comments which pioneer amazed you the most.